lovely lot. Today we're going to be playing with alcohol inks from Born Pretty and a little bit of black gel paint so that we can define our designs. I have prepared all the tips with 2 coats of white gel polish, fully cured, and then a matte top coat. To start with, I'm going in with some green alcohol ink and I'm going to dab that in both corners. Now what I do in the top right, I'm going to do in the bottom left. So because of the length of this video, guys, I am going to just show you this top one. So basically I pop it in a rough shape, let that dry, go in and add some more of the ink. Then I'm going to come in with an old gel brush, and in a small dappen dish I have equal amounts of acetone and gel cleanse, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to dab, wipe my brush to take off any ink that's on that gel brush and go back in again. Don't put too much on, and once I'm happy, I'm coming in with a matte top coat to protect that ink. Pop that in the lamp, full cure. Then I'm going to come in with black gel paint. You can see at the side I've got my little palette, and then over that I've got a lid, and that's because I've got an LED light above, and when I'm using gel paint and I'm a while doing it, it can actually cure what's on my palette. It gives it like a skin. So what I've done is propped the lid off over to give it like a, so I can still get at it, but the LED lights can leave it alone. So yeah, that's what you can see there. I'm not losing the plot, honestly. So yeah, I'm coming in with the gel paint, guys, and I'm going to do the outline, and this is going to be 2 large leaf shapes. And what I do on the top, I do on the bottom, but I'm just going to show you the top just so that we can get through the design. So the first thing I do is put in the stem, so that gives me a centre point. From there, I can then work to the left, work to the right, make sure it all matches, which is what you can see me doing here. And then I put in the veins of the leaves to finish off the detail. And then, like I said, I will fully cure that and then go in and do the bottom leaf. So although the actual drawing of the leaf will be, of proportion and it will be perfect, I don't want the ink to be like colouring in, if you like. I want it to be like a messy coloured background. So I want it sometimes outside of the lines, things like that. So now we're going to go in with our second design. Coming in with pink, and I'm going to do 5. But it's a shape between a heart and a triangle, okay? And I'm doing roughly that sort of shape with my brush. You can see I'm not going to do it perfect. I want it to be a little bit messy. I don't want them all to match, because in nature they do not match, and this will obviously be petals of a flower. So I do a rough shape, and then what I do is dab it inside, look, just a little bit, and that will deepen the colour. Then I'm going to get my gel brush again with that solution on. Dab. Wipe my brush, get that ink off, do it again. If there's too much comes off, I can always go back in with that ink. But I want to, a patchy background really on which my drawing will sit. So that's what you can see me do here. Once I'm happy with that, I am going to come in with a second colour. Now I do take the excess that's on my brush and dab it on the outside in the bottom left of that flower. So it's on my brush, the pink ink, and I dab it, look, dab, just to give it a little bit of something else, really. And then I'm coming in with that second colour. And I've taken it off and wiped it before I put it on the nail tip. I'm just going to put it in the middle, put it a little bit on the outside of that flower. Again, dab again, put a little bit more until I get the depth of colour that I want. And then I'm going to come in again with that solution on that gel brush, and once I'm happy I'm going to top coat it. Now don't top coat it if that ink is still wet, it must be fully dry, otherwise all you'll do is just smudge that colour ink all over the nail and you'll ruin it. So once it's dry I will float the top coat over the top because I don't want to drag the colour off. Then I'll pop it in the lamp for a full cure before coming in with that gel paint. And again, what I'm doing here is mapping out where I want my leaves to go first. I'm putting in some little markers. Then what I'll do is go round and do the sides and the tops of those petals. I'll add a little bit of detail in and around the nail. Again, I'm not wanting this gel to sit perfectly on the ink. I want it to be a messy background, patchy shade. That's the whole point of using the alcohol inks. Now, I'm using Born Pretty alcohol inks today. Guys, I had these 12 months now. I got them from AliExpress. They were my very first order. These are what made me make an order with AliExpress. I was after some alcohol inks and somebody said to me, try these, they're great. Pointed me in the direction of AliExpress. I'd never used it before, never done it before, and these are brilliant. They don't smell at all, there's no odour whatsoever. They're really pigmented, so I get beautiful coverage with whatever I'm doing. They dry in seconds, and I've got to say, apart from the blue brush that came and it was a bit, looked like my dog had been chewing it, you know, it's absolutely brilliant. Love these alcohol inks. Okay, so once that's finished and I'm happy with the gel paint, I then pop it in the lamp for a full cure. And then I'm coming in with my third design here, guys. We're whipping through these today, aren't we? I'm coming in with yellow in the top right corner as you're looking at the screen. Then I'm going to add various colours to this because I want this to be nice and colourful. So I go in with yellow, pink, a little bit of green, blue, so on and so forth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a sun in the corner, like just off the nail, some little teardrop shapes, 3 of those dangling down, and this is going to be my Dreamcatcher. So I'm doing a rough shape. Again, just like the others, guys, it's not perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. I'm going to pop on the inks and then I'm going to come in with that gel solution and work on that. Once I'm happy, and then I'm going to top coat it and pop it in the lamp. Again, I haven't left it all in, guys. I can't do that because you'll be here all night, I promise. But you know what I mean. I go in and dab it and move it around so that we get this lovely shading. And then I'm going to come in with the gel paint. I'm going to start in the left-hand corner and I'm going to do a circle, which will be my centre point. And that's where I always do everything. So I go to the centre and I work outwards, but that's just the way I find that I do it. And then what I'm going to do is pop that in the lamp and flash cure it. Then I'm going to come in, I'm going to do the semicircle around the bottom, and I'm going to do 2 of these so that they're parallel to each other. I find these the hardest to draw circles, really difficult. And what I'm doing is, on my brush is just the smallest amount of gel paint, because if you get too much, I find that you can get like, it leaves splodges and it gets thicker lines. So I'm using a tiny bit of gel paint. I'm using minimum pressure on my brush to get those lovely lines. Then what I'm going to do is put a centre point for the feathers at the bottom, so like a bead on which I'm going to attach it to the top of the Dreamcatcher. Then I'm going to come in, make those bigger, and then put a little wiggly line on to connect it. Then what I'm going to do is work on the feathers at the bottom, so I'm going to put my centre line in. Then what I'm going to do is reload my brush and come in and put the feather strands on. So I will work on that. Just go drag, 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 drag. Again, I'm going to do this on all 3 of these teardrop shapes. Load up my brush and then just do the fine lines. Just so that you can see exactly what it is. Flash curing in between, guys, just in case I do something that I don't like or too much gel on my brush. And I'll do this on all 3 going along. Once that's flash cured, I'm then going to come in and finish the detail at the top. So I'm going to do like a curved line on the left, on the right, and join them up together, making that teardrop shape again. So I do one in the centre first, then I go and do 2 on each side. Again, working from the centre outwards. What I do on the left, and then I do it on the right, or vice versa. And then I go in and put some dots just to finish off. Just pop in the detail, really. That's what I'm doing here. Then once I'm perfectly happy with everything that I've put on here, I will give it the full 60-second cure in the lamp, because up to this point all I'm doing is flash curing it for 10 seconds. 4th and final design, guys, we're going to do a little butterfly. So I'm going to come in with green first. I'm going to start with 2, like with the flower, it's a cross between a triangle and a heart, and it's a rough shape. I'm going to pop that on there, let it dry, go back in again with my brush. I'm not going to reload it with any more ink, it doesn't need it, it's already on there. I'm just dabbing it on really, really gently so it doesn't splodge everywhere and make a mess. So I'm doing it, I'm directing it. Then I think I come in with the gel brush with that solution on. Just like before, dab, 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 move it around, get a little bit of patchiness in there. Wipe my brush. I'm looking at it, does it need any more? No, great, next colour. I'm going to copy that exactly, I'm going to mirror it and do exactly the same on the other side, just with a different colour. So I'll put a rough shape, let that dry a little bit, come back in again, add some more if I need to. Do exactly the same as I did with the bottom left, I did it on the bottom right, but I haven't kept it all in, guys. Honestly, I think it was like 40-45 minutes long, this video, so I had to cut it right down. I'm coming in with the purple. I've decided that the top wings, I'm going to do different colours. I'm going to bring in the purple and the blue. I'm going to dab it on there, let it dry. Look at that brush, it's horrendous. It came like that. I just work with it, as you do. It's like a quid. Not gonna hankle over that. So I'm coming in with that brush, guys, with that solution on. Wipe it, make sure it's clean. And I'm going to blend those 2 colours together. So I am going to dab it, but I'm going to like go left to right, left to right, left to right. You can see me in like a dabby motion. And it gives it a beautiful effect, I love it. So I go in and do that on the left. Spread that colour down. So I get that patchy, that dark and light, those veins that outline it. Wiping my brush in between so the purple doesn't go on the green doesn't go on the pink. Once I'm perfectly happy with that, I am going to come in and top coat, just like I did with the others, and protect that ink. So I can come in with the black gel paint and put in the detail. Pop that in the lamp, give it a full cure. Now we can go in and I'll start with the centre point, so that would be the head and the body. So I'll load up my brush, because it's a really fine detailer brush here. And I'm going to do a round head, and then I'm going to come down and do the body, pull that gel paint down to a nice point to get like a little tail. I will flash cure that in the lamp. When it comes out, turn it upside down. I'm going to do the little antennas, just little wiggly, 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 wiggly. Put a little lines in there. Then I'm going to load my brush up, as in make sure that the bristles of the brush are loaded with the paint, but that isn't too much, so I can work with my lines. And I'm going to go from the centre and I'm going to split those wings up. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Work from the centre out. So I put my line in and I divide that. Then I'm going to do a rough outline of where the bottom's going to go. So I'll come out first, then I'll join it up with a little wiggly line from that centre line to that bottom line, trying to match them up as much as possible. Once I'm happy with that, I will thicken that line a little bit just in the bottom points and the top points of the wings. That's where it seems to, it's where they seem to have a little bit more thickness. If you look at a picture, and that's all I'm doing, I'm just copying pictures. That's all I'm doing. So again, what I do on the left wing, I'm going to do on the right. I will flash cure that in between, guys, before I come in and add some detail. Should be some little veins inside the wings. And you can see I'm not loading up my brush, I'm pulling the gel paint out of those thick lines there. Because if I had too much gel paint on my brush, I could end up with really thick splodgy lines, and I don't want that. I've done that so many times when I'm learning. I really have. But that's the whole point, isn't it? Practice, practice, practice. Once I'm happy with that, that's flash cured, and then I'm going to do exactly the same on the top wing. So I've got that centre line, so now I'm going to outline the top, put my lines in, make sure I'm happy with that, and then join them together with a little wiggly line. Doing exactly the same as I've done on the bottom. They're basically two big triangles. How I learned to do a butterfly was I did a cross and I worked the wings around that. So that's how I learned to do a butterfly, or two large triangles, if you will. That's all I'm doing. Two at the top, two at the bottom, two big ones, two little ones. Okay guys, I am thickening those lines up again, just like I did before. What I do on the right wing, I'm going to do on the left. Flash curing in between, so that if I do something I don't like, I can just wipe it off. The ink's protected with that layer of matte top coat. As you can see, it's all coming together now. All that detail pulls this design, and it's now starting to look like a butterfly. So I'm going to add the veins to the top wings. I'm going to come in and add some black dots. Dot, 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 dot. Same to the top. Then what I'm going to do is flash cure that. And now I'm going to come in with white, and I'm going to add a few little really teeny tiny dots to the wings. Add some highlight to the veins. Then guys, we are coming towards the end of this little nail play today. If any of you guys have a go at this, please tag me in. My Instagram account details are all below. Go check that out. I do put extra content on there. Look at that, isn't it awesome? I love this. Guys, I've really enjoyed this little nail play today. I really hope you have too. If you have, would you mind just taking a moment and hitting that thumbs up? And if you're not subscribed already, guys, I would absolutely love it if you would. As always, everything will be listed below what I've used today. But if you do have any questions, just pop it below. I love communicating with you guys. You are absolutely awesome. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.